Hey there guys, what is going on? We are taking a look at the second weapon that has been added in the Season 6 Battle Pass, and that is the Grav, or the Galil as some of you guys might know it. Now, this is, surprisingly, not an overpowered weapon in this game. Like, it's actually just not broken. It's nice that they're back to releasing weapons that don't just break the game. However, it is actually a weapon that is quite good in this game. Like, it's middle of the road assault rifle, and that is a nice place to be. You don't want something that has like a 200 millisecond time to kill, and you don't want something that's like 400 millisecond. Like, you just want something that's nice, middle of the road, fits nicely in the meta at the moment. But just before we do get into it here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it massively helps me out. Every time I see that little number grow on our channel, it means our community is getting a bit bigger, and I love talking about Call of Duty with all of you guys. And while you are taking a look at the subscribe button, while you are there, just give the little like button some love as well, because I mean, that really does help out with the YouTube algorithm, which is just super important these days. So let's talk about the Grav here, the Galil. This is one of my favorite additions that they've added to the game recently. So as usual, we are just going to start off with our secondary here, and that is of course the 410 Ironhide, the slot machine. This is just one of the most interesting weapons in the game. You can get that one-shot kill if you aim down sight, land all your pellets. You're going to get a one-shot kill from like 15-20 meters away, and then it feels absolutely broken. But up close, you don't hit all the pellets on a hip fire and it feels bad. So it's very interesting here. Again, this starts off with the infantry V-choke for that tighter aim down sight spread. Really nice for the tighter pellet spread as well. Then the Ranger, of course, for the effective damage range on this thing. The steady aim laser for this for 20% increase to our hip fire accuracy. Then we want the magazine, of course, the Stanag 8-round tube. And of course the stock, the no stock as well. Really good addition to this gun for sprint to fire speed. In the tactical slot, we are going for the stim shot as always here, just to give us an extra chance per life when we get into a gunfight. Then the Semtex, of course, being able to just get an easy kill on people when you do stick them. Super satisfying. Then your frag, then your C4. These options are all pretty good here. And then, of course, the field microphone in the field upgrade slot does give us more information on our minimap, which is just super crucial these days. You just want as much information as possible in Call of Duty. Then, of course, the Wildcard here. We're just going for perk greed with our Grav Class Setup. We don't need 8 attachments on this thing to make it very strong. You can run Gunfighter, but you don't really need to. So perk greed, we do have Flak Jacket, we've got Forward Intel, we've got Scavenger, we've got Assassin, we've got Ghost, and we've got Ninja. So as I said, the Grav is a very interesting weapon in this game. It does feature about a 320 millisecond TTK, which is a little slower than some of the best assault rifles in the game right now, but I feel like this is appropriately balanced. We get the easy to control recoil here, we get a decent fire rate, good damage range values. I mean, this is just an easy weapon to like in this game. It doesn't hit the high TTK values of some of the other weapons that we have seen previously, but we know how broken the EM2 was, so we didn't want something that was just going to dominate and ruin the game for at least like the rest of the season. So this is a nice addition to the game as well. Now, the Grav starts off with the muzzle here, and that's actually nice to see some interesting attachments on this thing. The stats and numbers and values and things are a little bit different here. So again, Agency Suppressor here does give us 100% increase to our muzzle flash concealment. We do love to run suppressed assault rifles in this game just to let us live for longer, because good players do hunt down people who fire unsuppressed weapons in this game. But this also gives us recoil control here of vertical variety of 10% increase, which is a little bit more than we get normally from the Agency Suppressor, which is a nice little boost here. Next, in the barrel slot, we do actually have the Ranger barrel here. This does give us a 100% increase to our bullet velocity, which is always one of the best stats that you can go with most assault rifles. This does take our bullet velocity to 1374 meters per second, which is absolutely fantastic for hit detection. Now, I know you're looking at the Task Force barrel, and that increases our damage, it increases our range, and it increases our bullet velocity, but this also decreases our fire rate thanks to, of course, our Lord and Savior, the EM2 from previous seasons. They're actually adding these caveats to make these sort of barrels and stuff worse. So if we do actually look at this chart here, this takes our fire rate to 714 RPM and our damage to a slight increase here. Now, if you plug this into a TTK chart, this actually decreases your TTK, mostly because of that fire rate reduction. Meaning if you do take the Task Force barrel, you are actually going to be less effective at killing people, just in the sort of general sense. I think if you do combine the Task Force barrel and the magazine attachment that increases your damage as well, you can get better TTK in terms of headshots. But in general sense, the Task Force barrel and the sort of magazine that you can sort of switch out for is something that you should maybe steer clear from, because it just makes you worse in general. Then the underbarrel that we go with here is the foregrip here, just a standard horizontal recoil control increasing foregrip. However, the SFOD speed grip is a nice little addition as well. This actually gives us a 10% increase to our sprinting movement speed instead of the regular 5%. So that is a nice boost, but that is a little bit of a trade-off between the movement speed stats, the shooting movement speed stats, and the aim walking movement speed stats. So just keep that in mind here. We mentioned a magazine before, and the magazine that we were talking about is actually the 30-round conversion here. As you can see, this increases our damage by 6%. It also means we do have a 30-round magazine rather than the 35-round mag by default, which is not ideal. But again, it does increase our damage. Again, if you do combine them, you do get a damage number of 36, which technically does increase your TTK value. As I mentioned earlier, if you get a headshot, it's very fast with this thing. But then outside of that, it is just slightly slower because of that reduction to your fire rate. So we're just going for a standard 40 round speed mag here. It does give us a larger magazine size, ever so slightly, and a faster reload speed without actually reducing our aim down sight speed, which is a very, very nice attachment here. Then we round this off with the Serpent Wrap here because we aren't reducing our aim down sight speed with our magazine attachment. We don't need to run the airborne pistol grip here because we just don't need that extra, and we don't want to lose our shooting movement speed and our sprint to fire speed here. Alrighty, so as usual at the moment, we are back on deprogram. We've got the Grav, which is just a nice weapon to add to this game. Like, it's not offensive. Like, it's just a nice gun that they have added here, man. Like, it's not gonna bust the game or anything like that. The TTK value isn't that extreme. Like, it's just a good addition. And that is just something that we probably lost in Season 5 when they were adding all these absolutely ridiculously insane guns. Like, there was just, like, everything had to be overpowered or it wouldn't get used in the game. And that feels bad. Like, typically that feels pretty bad. But at the moment, I think the balance of these weapons is in a pretty good state. Like, there's nothing too egregiously overpowered at the moment, apart from maybe something like the Marshall is probably still a little too strong. I put a poll up the other day that was like, hey, what do you think about the Marshall in this? And it's like, yeah, it's good. It's good. And actually, we made a video on it the other day, and it was just like, yeah. Oop. Oh my god, there was two. If it was only one guy, we probably end up getting that second shot off there, and it doesn't make a difference. We can actually just get that kill. But yeah, because there was... he went in the thing. It is interesting that the task force barrel actually makes you, like, just straight up worse at killing people, which is just unusual. I do appreciate that they are adding sort of limiting factors with some of these attachments, and they do actually end up sort of having balance checks and stuff like that. If they're too strong, like, say, for example, the task force barrel doesn't have that caveat of reducing the fire rate, well then it's just better. Like, it's just the barrel option that you'd use. But it's just one of those interesting attachment choices that's like, well, if you use this, now you're actually just worse. So, yeah, it doesn't feel good. Ooh. It doesn't feel good using attachments in games that make your gun worse. Yeah, that's pretty simple. But I do appreciate them trying to make all... Ooh. Okay, why are they spawning there? Like... But yeah, as I was saying, I do appreciate them trying to make these attachments a little bit more interesting, a little bit more varied. Like, there's just changing stats and just like, oh, making the fire rate 5% worse. Or on the reinforced heavy barrel, I think it makes, like, vehicle damage increase by 100%, which is really strange. I do like them adding those, like, special weird little stats, though. I do think that actually makes the attachments a little bit more interesting. And I feel like they should have done that from the start, rather than just making, like, every attachment feel, like, exactly the same. Yeah, because that was one of the things I loved most about the Modern Warfare gunsmith, was that every gun felt like it was pretty unique. I mean, the handle attachments and, like, the... Am I in their spawn? I am. No, we're just going to dip. Yeah, the handle attachments and the grip attachments, they were all pretty much the same, but, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Like, all the barrels were different. They were all specialized for their own guns, and the magazine attachments are all a bit different, and that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You just want variety. A lot of the time, you don't just want to be like, oh yeah, I'll use the agency this, I'll use this, and they're all the same. Like, because that just feels a little stale, like everything's a little samey. Ooh, someone got him, that's a bit rude, honestly. Bit rude. Oh boy. No, this is fun. We can just dodge bullets, don't worry about that too much. Alright, coming back through here. But I think the Grav is a good addition to the game. I'm really glad they brought back the Galil, because it's just... Ooh, it's just such a fan favorite. Everybody loves it, man. When they brought back Mason, everyone was like, yep, it's Galil time. It's Galil time, boys. Now we'll take that out. Oh, we should push up here. Oh, we got two of them. Oh boy, there was a... Why can there never just be one? Why is there always two guys? And when there is two guys and you get both kills, why is there never just two guys? There's always a third guy. Like, ugh. I do have the war machine though. We're not on a decent streak, which is a little sad, but you know, it is what it is here. That ain't my fault. It was Man with Knife's fault. Where did he go? Take him out. Hello? Man, where did... Sir? Where did that guy go? He just disappeared. Yeah, I'll take that guy out. War Machine's just not bad. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, I didn't click fast enough. Where What are you doing? 27 and 6. This has already gone better than I thought this was going to. Come on. Check that back there, and we'll push on the left-hand side. Oh, we got him. Sometimes you can just tell, like, exactly when your grenades are going to be effective on people. He's going to come this way. He didn't. The harp does help pretty massively here. Like, being able to know where the enemies are. That turns out that's quite good. Oh. We got Mac 10. We got Mac 10. Guy just there, we'll take him out. I think there's a guy in the red roomy teleporty bit. Let's see if we can get a little... There's a guy here. And that was him. We're going to stick that there and just see if he runs into it. And we'll go in the red door. The red doors are always so goofy, man. Like, most of the time when you walk through them, you are just going to die. It's a little bit of bait sometimes. Ah! Damn, I was too busy worrying about where I was standing, whether I was going to get shot or not, and then I just got shot. Alright, we're getting absolutely rinsed through this area. Is the boys taking care of it? I think he took care of it. Alright, I'll pop that. Ooh, no. There's nothing worse in this game than getting hit with that combat bow. Because it's just like, oh. There was very little I could have done about that. I mean, I could have done that and then he could have missed, but I mean, that didn't happen. Can I not be on fire, please? Like, we lost anyway. 32 and 9, pretty good game, and we'll have our final thoughts on this in just a second here. So as you saw there, guys, the Grav is just an interesting weapon in this game. Nice plain middle of the road assault rifle. It's not going to break the game. It's not going to be the EM2 and be the most dominant force the game has ever seen. It's just a nice weapon of the game. People love using the Galil in Call of Duty, and this is no exception because it's a very, very cool weapon to use. The iron sights on this thing are super clean, really, really easy to use, very enjoyable to use the Grav. So again, thank you very much for watching this one. Of course, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on because I love making videos for you guys and I love when our community does grow here. And while you are taking a look at the subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button as well. That really does help us out with the YouTube algorithm, which you guys know these days is absolutely massive. So thank you very much for watching this one, as I said, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!